decided to do the swap your screen time for read time video.
Normally people do the whole week of swapping their screen time for read time, but we have the weekend for you right now, so we decided to try it this weekend. Mine says last week's average was 5 hours and 44 minutes.
I feel like that's not bad at all. Mine was 6 hours and 42 minutes. The average of both of our times is about 6 hours, so I think that's the amount of time we're gonna read each day.
Since this is our first time doing this video, we wanted to start off with a book that we could buddy read, and one of the last times we went to Barnes & Noble, we did both get The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood.
And you guys have us so hyped for this book. Everyone in the comments was saying how much they were obsessed with this book, that it was a 5-star read for everyone, so we're excited. We have high hopes for this one. We don't know too much about this plot, but going into it, we do know some of the tropes. We know it's grumpy sunshine, fake dating.
We are a little worried though, because we do know this book is very hyped, and sometimes we read books that are hyped and we just don't feel the same way, so I guess it's time for us to see our place with it. Hopefully we love it just as much as everyone else.
We really like the idea of this challenge because we're constantly on our phones. If we were to spend the time we're on our phones reading, we would get so much more reading done. We are going to start our timer for the 6 hours, and we're just going to get started and update you guys in a little bit. And we are a third of the way in, so we are making good progress. I think we're about to start chapter 7.
Something I really like in this book that's really different, I feel, is in the beginning of each chapter they have like hypothesis, and it's kind of like a little sneak peek of what this chapter is going to be. I think that's so cute. Basically, Olive knows that her best friend isn't going to go and be in this relationship with the guy she likes until Anne knows that Olive is in a relationship of her own.
So basically how this whole fake dating situation happened was Anne was coming down the hallway. She was about to catch Olive in this lie because Olive was supposed to be on this date. Knowing Anne was about to catch her, Olive kisses the first guy she sees. And it just so happens to be probably the most reputable professor on campus because he's known for making students cry with his harsh criticisms. That's kind of how this whole fake dating scenario happened. I think it's so well done so far, right?
Yeah.
The writing is so good. I'm very into the characters.
We really like that the readers know that Olive and Adam have actually already met before, but Olive does not know this.
That interaction was so influential in Olive's career, and I'm so glad we got to read about it. Oh, it was so good.
Stop.
It's
Yeah,
so good. I feel like there's a lot of like giddy moments as well, which I haven't felt this way about a contemporary romance in a long time.
We'll update you guys when we're about halfway into the book. Halfway through the book.
A few things have happened since our last update. Olive's study right now is pancreatic cancer. She's trying to find a way to detect this cancer earlier on in patients so they have more options.
This university doesn't have all the tools and the equipment needed for Olive to continue with her research, so she's reaching out to other universities in hopes that they will take her on and let her use their labs.
Also right now there's this conference happening that happens every year. It's out of town and everyone expects her and Adam to room together since they are supposedly dating. So we have forced proximity and it's done so well. I love how self-aware she is.
No, yeah. She was like, you've clearly never seen a rom-com because there will be one bed.
He's like, oh, I got 2. And she's like, no, you don't understand. There's only going to be 1.
Yeah, I thought that was so cute too. There's a lot of things going on right now. There's some drama happening that we don't want to get into because we think it could be a spoiler, but it's good drama.
It's good.
It's good.
Everything happening so far, like I can't find a flaw yet in the book.
No, yeah. Nothing cringy yet. Like,
right.
I'm into it.
We only have about a third left of the book. We're so excited to see how they're going to wrap it up and what's going to happen. We only have about 2 hours left, so we know we're going to be able to get it done. We will update you guys once we've finished this book.
Just finished the book It was so cute.
It was so good.
I know.
I'm so impressed. We're gonna backtrack a little bit because a lot happened since our second update. Something I will say, if you're not a fan of spice, there's only really one scene in this book that you could easily skip over and the whole rest of the story will still be good. If you are a fan of spice, that one scene was perfect. You were waiting so long for something to happen between them that it was just done so well. So the way that the story dealt with our antagonist was so satisfying. Everything that I needed to happen happened, so I'm so happy.
I'm really surprised by this. I loved the main characters, but I also loved the side characters. I thought they were so funny. Like, I wish she would do a book about them and their relationship because I would love to read that. There were so many funny moments in this book too. Like, I truly was laughing like I should be with like a rom-com.
So pleasantly surprised. Like, it's such a well-rounded book. Honestly, I'm upset we waited this long to read it. I don't think I would have read it, because I was so on the fence of like, it's not gonna match the hype or whatever. And I'm so glad we ended up getting it because this is one of my favorite rom-coms I think I've read all year. I'm so glad we were able to finish this today. So tomorrow we could start a whole new book and just focus on that one. But wow, I'm not going to get over this for a while. If you haven't read this one yet, definitely go check it out. We highly recommend. A great pick for day one. That's all we're going to read for today. It honestly went by so fast.
It did. So tomorrow we're going to start on our second book and read for 6 hours again.
It's day 2.
Wow. We're here.
We're gonna read for another 6 hours today, and we have brand new books.
So for me, I'm finally going to read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This will be my first Tessa Bailey book. I did just get this one in our half-price shopping vlog. I know this one is inspired by Schitt's Creek and Alexis Rose, who I absolutely love. I know the author said she wanted to create a story to really just give her the happy ending that she deserves. I saw this book a lot last year, so I'm excited to see what all the hype is about, and hopefully I love it just as much as everyone else. I heard this book does have a lot of spice in it, so we'll see. Because I've read the Addicted series.
Right.
So sometimes I don't think things are as spicy as they say they are.
So my pick for today is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I've had this on my TBR since the beginning of the year. I'm finally getting around to it. One of my friends, Bailey, wanted to buddy read this month, which is the perfect motivation I needed to finally start it. All I really know about this one is that it is a mystery. You guys know when it comes to mystery and thrillers, I'm always very underwhelmed, so I'm hoping it's different for this one. This is part of Reese's book club, and it just got picked up for a adaptation. I don't know if it's a movie or a series, but I'm so glad I'll be able to read this before I watch it so I can compare the two. We had a good reading day yesterday. I'm hoping it goes as smoothly today. We're gonna set the timer for our 6 hours and just get started. We've read for about 2 hours now.
In this book, we follow Piper. She is essentially just famous for being famous. Her stepdad is this really big movie maker. She's all over social media and going to parties all the time, so she's really never had to work a day in her life. She doesn't have any discipline or responsibilities. Piper ends up going through this breakup, and she ends up throwing this huge party that gets a little out of control. It's all over the tabloids. Her stepfather is really mad and disappointed because it's reflecting really poorly on him, so people that he's working with are threatening to back out. Her stepfather's plan is to send her to Westport, which is a really small town. So she's gonna work at her late father's bar, and she will be living in the room above the bar for 3 months. Her stepfather is hoping she learns discipline and responsibility, really just gets a glimpse of the real world and comes back to reality. And her sister Hannah does decide to go with her because she's like, you are not going to be able to survive on your own, so I'm gonna go with you. She's more humble and down to earth. She doesn't do the social media thing. I'm really liking the story so far. I think it's really funny. I can clearly tell Piper is supposed to be Alexis Rose, just this big social media girl.
I know a lot more about my story as well. We are in Hannah's point of view, and she has been married to Owen for about a year now. Owen also has a 16-year-old daughter named Bailey, and even though Hannah is trying really hard to create a connection and bond with Bailey, she's a 16-year-old, so of course she's not really having it, the new girl in her father's life. Our story starts when someone shows up on Hannah's doorstep and gives her a note that's from Owen. The note only says 2 words, protect her, and Hannah immediately knows he's talking about Bailey. She doesn't really know what to think about this note. She can't get in touch with Owen. She's kind of freaking out a little bit. That same day, Hannah goes to pick up Bailey from school and overhears on the radio that the company that Owen works for had just been raided after a 14-month investigation. Is that not crazy?
That is crazy.
The CEO of the company is now in custody for embezzlement and fraud. She has no idea what to think of this because at this tech company, Owen always really wanted to make a difference. She can't imagine any of this happening. Bailey gets into the car with a duffel bag full of money and says her father left her this with a note. In the duffel bag, there's over $600,000. This is kind of just the start of the story. They're now stuck in the situation together. They have no idea where Owen is, and even though they don't really have a relationship, they're gonna have to figure something out. I honestly am very into the story already. I desperately want to know what happened. I'm impressed. I feel like these picks have been really good so far.
Yeah. So we're gonna read some more of our books and then update you guys when we're about halfway through. More than halfway. There's a lot happening here. With her late father's bar in the town of Westport, everybody still uses this bar. Everybody in the town is supplying it on their own and like funding it so they can all hang out there. When the sisters arrive at the bar, everyone's kind of confused and they start claiming it as their own. So right off the bat, they just see 2 girls, one's in sequins and her lipstick purse, claiming this as her bar, and they're already not loving them, especially Brendan. We follow Brendan's point of view as soon as the girls walk in. In the beginning, Brendan is just really annoyed with these 2 girls because they really just can't do anything for themselves, and when they go up into the room that they will be staying in upstairs, they are just completely grossed out. They're like, where is the maid? Can we hire somebody to clean this up? So they're already showing that they're just from 2 completely different worlds. As time goes on, Brendan keeps running into Piper and Hannah because it is a small town. He ends up helping them out because they are truly just like lost puppies. They have no idea what they're doing, and they quickly begin to develop feelings for each other. But then there's that whole problem with like Piper realizing that this isn't forever. This is for 3 months. She's going to go back home in LA, so she doesn't want anything serious to happen. So I'm excited to see how it's going to end and see if Piper is going to go back home in LA or if she's gonna try and make something work here in Westport.
So a lot's happened in my book too. It has been a couple days, still no sign from Owen. He's completely MIA. Of course, we have like FBI and like the US Marshals now coming around Hannah's house, poking around, trying to get information from her. She decides she needs to lawyer up. However, the only lawyer in town does not want anything to do with her. She's kind of just guilty by association. No one wants to work with her because even though they've known Owen for years, he's gotten a bunch of people to invest in the company and they're all kind of just feeling like they've been backstabbed. She ends up reaching out to the only other lawyer she knows, which happens to be her ex. Drama, right? We are getting past and present. We are getting a lot of flashbacks, and normally I don't like that. However, the chapters are so short. I just feel like it flows so much better. Hannah's basically just trying to remember anything that would help her piece together what's happening and where Owen is right now. Hannah remembered a couple things that led her to Austin, Texas, so she decided to take Bailey there and basically walk around, see if anything jogs Bailey's memory. They know that Bailey was there when she was a lot younger, which is really cool because I had no idea that any part of this book was going to be in Austin, Texas. And they go into a lot of descriptions about different like restaurants and bars, and I would think that all these places actually exist. Yeah. So I think it would be really cool to like go check those out and
Austin
see.
Trip.
Yeah, right? We're basically just following them around. They're trying to follow any leads they can. I'm very hooked. Like I said, the chapters are short, so it keeps you reading.
So we are going to finish our books and update you guys when we are done. Okay, so we finished our books. We both enjoyed our books. What a successful day.
Honestly.
Right?
A successful 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. This book was so cute. Another one that was very hyped that I actually adored. If you've watched Schitt's Creek and you've seen the whole thing, you kind of see that. Get a good lesson of what's important, right? Like the people you surround yourself is what's important, and your connections and just being happy. I feel like we get that same lesson here. Piper really sees everybody in this town, truly cares about each other, and she is becoming a part of it, and the friends that she makes in this town are nothing like the fake friends that she has in LA who just kind of hang out with each other for clout. The spice, I was not expecting it to be on that level. There was so many smutty scenes, which I don't mind, but the things that they were doing, you guys, I had never even read of some of the things that they were doing in some books. So, wow. It's always the cartoon ones that spice it out for real. Overall, it was a really good story. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I liked this one more or the Love Hypothesis more. I think I did like the Love Hypothesis a little bit more, but I'm still so confused on my ratings. I don't know what I'm going to rate them yet. I definitely want to read more by Tessa Bailey. I already know I will be purchasing the next book that is going to follow Hannah and her relationship. I really loved getting to know Hannah in this book, so I can't wait to read her own.
I am so happy with this book and the way that it ended. I actually teared up at the end of this, which I feel like doesn't happen often, especially in mysteries. The mystery in itself was so good. The conclusion was heartbreaking but also moving. At the root of this story, it really was about Hannah and Bailey. Owen's disappearance and the journey that they went on was really a way for them to bond and create a relationship with each other. I really enjoyed like the final verdict and what ended up happening. I was not expecting to like this book as much as I did. This has me so incredibly excited for the adaptation because I know it's going to be excellent. They've finished filming, so I know that's going to be coming out soon. The cast they have is amazing, and I could picture everything so perfectly that I know it's going to end up so good. Very impressive overall. I highly recommend as well. This has really been a really good 2 days.
Oh my god, how cute. So we both read 2 new authors, and we loved them.
These are 4 for 4.
Wow, 4 for 4.
That rarely happens, and these were all great. Like, I think I would give this a 4-star. We normally do the 24-hour readathons, but I feel like this would be another favorite that we have. I really like the concept of seeing how much time is spent on your phone and swapping that for something more productive. I feel like us reading for 6 hours each day has really like changed my perspective in some things because we literally have 2 books read in a matter of 2 days, which is crazy. If we were to do this every day, we'd have so many more books read.
We have 30 books read in a month.
That's crazy.
What a great way for us to get into more reading. Hopefully we put our phones down a little more throughout our weeks and take some more time to read.
A reminder that our first reading sprint will be today. We're just going to be up for 2 hours and do about 3 30-minute sprints, so definitely join if you're interested in that. We're really excited, so we hope to see you there. Bring whatever book you're currently reading and we can get to chatting. That is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. I'm giving it a 4.5, which to me is like a perfect book.
Yeah.
It was good.
Why not just give it a 5 then?
5 is life-changing.
Definitely 4 or above. I'm not sure where. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I definitely know I want to read more by Tessa Haley, and
Bailey! You said Tessa Haley!
Oh my god, that's so